When I was young, I grew up in Vermont in the woods, so there was no skateboard shops near us, and I always used to look at magazines and want shirts with the logos on them. So I would take pizza boxes and cut stencils and spray paint to make my own shirts. And then when I moved down to New Paltz when I was 16, I just walked into a shop and asked if I could intern to learn how to do it because I was really into it and wanted to figure it out. So I started when I was 16. As soon as I graduated college, I moved out to California the day after I took 2 classes in summer, and then the day after those left, I flew to California to work at a shop printing skateboards. Didn't really like California, moved back to New Paltz because I've always liked the area, and worked at a shop in Kingston for 2 years for like a biker dude. And I was bringing in jobs myself, and then I just decided to borrow some money and start a screen printing shop. Screen printing stuff I'd been doing for so long, I knew how to do that. It was the business side of it. I had no clue, and I'm very bad at math and organization, so it was figuring out how to run a business. So that was really hard for me, and learning how to deal with people, like all different kinds of customers. And I'm pretty self-critical, so it was really hard I would freak out whenever I had to give a job to a customer. If there was anything like the tiniest bit wrong about it, I would like beat myself up about it and freak out. I've always been kind of a control freak, so it took until there was literally no way we could operate without having somebody else in here. It was like the best decision I made to bring somebody else on and let somebody else print with me. Ryan, who does the design, works usually 12 to 3 each day, and then Matt we just hired 3 weeks ago, and he works with me printing full time.
I started printmaking in college. I studied painting and printmaking at Purchase, and I did a bunch of silk screens and intaglio and lithography and all kinds of printmaking. And then when I graduated, I just needed a job, and I found a job silkscreen printing in Poughkeepsie, where I live, and I enjoyed it. It's just work that you can do that's related to art and kind of fun. Jim is like younger and hip to the internet. We get to do shops for jobs for skateboard companies in Vermont and things like that. So we're not like begging the people down the street to print their shirts when they don't want them.
At least once a week there's a company that I'm really psyched that I get to print their shirts, and I would totally buy them if I wasn't printing their shirts. Raw is a company from Boston that we met naturally. We used to run a clothing line, and he bought one of our shirts, and we started chatting through email, and we've been printing their t-shirts ever since 2006. And it was cool to see them go from like a startup skateboard company to today we were printing a sample order for their Japanese distributor. There's a lot of cool stories like that where there's one brand, Dirtbag from Connecticut. It started as like a 15-year-old kid making 24 shirts, and now he's running a business where he sells probably 5,000 shirts a year. So it's cool to like see these people that are really talented grow because they just really like what they're doing. They're not doing it because they want to start a successful clothing brand. They're just doing it because they want to make cool t-shirts. And as far as I've seen, the ones that do it that way are always the most successful over the people that want to start a bottle of t-shirt brand. So it's cool to see people grow naturally.
We used to be roommates before both of us opened the store. And from there, we used to work together at a skate shop. And then, we just kept our friendship going. Jim opened up his store, and then I opened up mine a few months later. I mean, we're really community-based. And then, like, dealing with those guys, it really wasn't more or less a business thing. It's just between friends. I mean, we all grew up skating, snowboarding. And like I said, even before the business started, we were all friends beforehand. So, and in doing so, it was kind of like word of mouth, trying to get as many local artists and friends that we all know to come together, put their designs on t-shirts, skateboards, snowboards, what have you, and just kind of roll with it from there. Well, Antilogy seems to really be blossoming, so to speak. It does help me a lot because, just branding helps me get my store name out as opposed to your like traditional advertising like billboards and newspapers. Whereas, you know, I'd rather just have someone wear a t-shirt and then from there someone asks like, where'd you get it from, and kind of also promote the town as well. With stuff like this, it's kind of like a paid hobby, and then just, you know, a bunch of friends who kind of strive in their own craft, so to speak, and then have everyone come together. So it's kind of like everyone piggybacks each other, and we just take it day by day.
We went with Antilogy when they moved into Tilson, and I thought they were genuinely hip, which the last printers were not. I mean, these people, you can't fake hipness, and hip is what we aspire to and feel like we're a part of, so it was a natural fit.
Honestly, I don't think I would be capable of running a business with like 25 employees, and you know, I don't think I want to be doing that. I really like the place we're at, where when people place an order, they talk to me, and up until 3 weeks ago, I printed every single shirt and boxed every single shirt. I think that's kind of cool. I like small business and I like handmade things, and for me, if I'm buying something from a company, I like to talk to the person in charge of making it. I think that's kind of a neat thing. So for me, this is about as big as I would like to get. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I don't really need a lot of stuff. So
It's almost like we don't even have to pick up the phone. He just knows what's going on, and it works perfectly. And we keep it quick because I know that they run a small operation, and a lot gets churned out of there. So you don't stay on the phone for 20 minutes. So we get the business done. There's always a smile. They deliver. I pick up. I give them the money immediately. Not because he asked for it, but because that quality of work and that quality of relationship deserves that quality of respect. We specialize as much as we can in goods that we can find made in this country. So we get shirts from American Apparel, and then we get ideas, or we have ideas filled out and shirts made 2 blocks away. So you can't ask for more local than that.
Cabin's flooded and our soul's been ripped apart. We might find land, might be our funeral. We're here alone, we're here alone.
There's a whole bunch of different ways to get from the brain to the computer or to the shirt. Some people just give us drawings that we can scan in and take from there. Other people only design in Photoshop or only design in Illustrator, where it stays digital the entire time. But say if somebody gave this, or we could just do this. Like this is designed in Photoshop. He sends it to us. It's all at the right resolution and big enough size, which is a pretty important thing. So once we have the image for something like this, you can't take a photo and just print it on a shirt because the screen's static. You can't have a smooth fade, so you have to take all the tones and turn it into tiny little dots. A lot of screen printing is tricking your eye into seeing an image, because this is just a bunch of little dots that makes you see a girl's face. Then we get a film. The film is printed from an inkjet printer onto a clear piece of, like overhead projector paper. So really clear with really dark black on it. Then you take it in the dark room, measure where you want it on the back of the screen, tape it to the screen, and then there's a vacuum table back there where it sucks all the air out and really gets the film very tight against the mesh of the screen. And you have unexposed emulsion that is coating the screen, so when the light hits it, it'll harden, but wherever there's black on the film blocks the light from hitting the emulsion. So once you stop, you take it out and spray it with water, and the water will start to wash away the emulsion that didn't get exposed and hardened. so it's soft and falls away and leaves you with all the little holes. Once the screen's dry, you can put it in the press, and you have a stencil that the ink can pass through to make the image, and that's it. And that's for like a simple one-color shirt. For every color you need in a shirt, you would set up the press with all the different colors and then print them in sequence to make the image. Yeah, one of the main reasons we picked this location is because we can have parties here and like have people come and hang out, and I know it's kind of like customer appreciation, and then also just, you know, I live in New Paltz and I want to do fun stuff in New Paltz and I want fun stuff to happen. There's a bunch of different things I find satisfying about working for myself and the kind of work we do. You know, some days it's as simple as like coming to work and turning the key in the door and having the office be the way I want it to look, and other days it's having a pile of blank shirts in a box, and at the end of the day there's a giant box of finished shirts, and it just have everything like complete and wrapped up, and it goes from like a box to like shirts all over the place and screens and colors and really complex, and then back to a box like taped and sealed, and then like on UPS at the end of the day. I think that's kind of satisfying someday.